Hello, everyone. My name is Brennan Marr. That noise you're hearing is my ventilator. And welcome to Page Turners They Were Not, my Star Wars podcast. Today, I'd like to speculate, as we often do on Fridays, here on my podcast, about the other characters and what their possible fates could be. We've talked a lot, of course, about Ben Solo and Rey. What about our other characters? Well, let's dig right in. First off, a lot of major franchises nowadays like to kill off major characters. Now, Star Wars has already done this, but it's not been to the degree of how it is done in other franchises. Marvel, of course, or as we call it, the MCU fake death universe, does this quite a lot. Now, in some franchises, characters die and then it's like, well, they're not dead. Gotcha, they're not really dead. Other franchises like Game of Thrones and whatnot, and other shows like that, shows and franchises and movies, kill off characters rather for shock value. So it's become rather common in our media nowadays. Now, who would be most likely of our Star Wars characters to die? Well, let's look really quick. Now, the obvious answer on a lot of people's minds is Kylo Ren, aka Ben Solo. But in his case, I guess killing out villains doesn't really count as let's just kill people just to kill them. Usually villains, die and we're all happy with it. But as has been pointed out, I think Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo, stands a high chance of being redeemed. Now, will he, like his grandfather before him, die saving the day and receiving salvation or redemption? I don't think he's going to die. I may be completely wrong, but that's my theory. I don't think he's going to die. Rey, I don't think they're going to kill off Rey. Rey is the future of the Jedi. I mean, it would be weird if they killed her and then Ben Solo had to continue the legacy without her, but I think I just don't see it happening. Particularly not with our industry-wide focus on great female characters. Killing off Rey, I think, would not be taken well. So no, I don't see that happening. Leia. I do not think they are going to kill Leia, because I think that would be in poor taste. I think Leia is the one of our original heroes who will continue. And the reason I think it's in poor taste is, Carrie Fisher has passed away. Oddly enough, this may be a record. Maybe I'm wrong. To have a film released 3 years after the death of one of its stars. That being said, I think Leia is the constant in this universe. I don't think she's going to die, because I just don't think it would be appropriate to kill off the character of an actress who's already dead. Chewbacca, I don't see Chewbacca dying. And I believe 1999, the first Star Wars book in the New Jedi Order series was called Vector Prime. In Vector Prime, Chewbacca was killed by a falling moon. Yes, you heard that right. Look it up. Fans did not react well to that then, and I do not believe fans would react well to killing Chewbacca off now. Now the droids, BB-8, R2-D2, and C-3PO, well, they're droids. So, we've seen that if C-3PO got blown into a bazillion pieces on Cloud City, he just got reassembled, and they're droids, so I don't think it's a big deal. Finn. I don't think Finn's gonna die. I hate to say this, but I don't think they would kill off the black character. Now, yes, he did try to sacrifice his life in The Last Jedi. And we could debate endlessly about the effectiveness of such a sacrifice. But maybe he does get the chance to sacrifice his life for the cause. Maybe he does, and maybe we'll be okay with that. But I just don't see them doing it because he's a character of color. And also considering that our industry is so focused on that right now. I just don't see it happening. The character that I see most likely dying of our heroes is Poe. I think it would be atonement for his behavior in The Last Jedi. Now, I'm going to say something controversial. Everybody complains and points fingers at Admiral Holdo and says, why didn't she tell Poe her plan? Shame on her. Why didn't Poe tell Holdo his plan? Poe had the opportunity to go to Admiral Holdo with Rose and Finn, and say, we figured out the First Order tracker. We've got an idea how to take care of it. Instead, Poe decided we're not going to tell Admiral Holdo. And that ended up causing more trouble than Holdo not telling him her plan. No one seems to want to point the fingers at Poe. Poe was a complete and utter idiot in The Last Jedi. Maybe him dying a heroic death in The Rise of Skywalker would allow him to atone for that mistake. And also, I just think that he's the kind of guy who might die because he's a risk taker. And then, of course, General Hux, I think, is a goner. I'm just going to say that. But, as is the case with bad guys, it's not like we care too much when they get killed off. And now, as for, is Captain Phasma going to reappear? Only to be, killed again? I certainly hope not. They put so much emphasis on this character in the marketing only to have it fizzle completely, which is a crime. Because it's Gwendolyn Christie, for heaven's sake. You don't waste Gwendolyn Christie. Good grief. Shouldn't they know that by now? Shouldn't they have known that going in? I suspect, though, that there was more that we were going to see of the character in The Force Awakens, but got left on the cutting room floor. Another real quick speculation is Maz going to appear in The Rise of Skywalker? Now, I haven't looked at the cast list, so I don't know, but I suspect she will. I like Maz very much. I'd like to see her reappear. Now, these new characters that are coming along, played by Richard E. Grant and the one black girl whose name I can't remember, and also Kerry Russell. I don't know how their characters are going to fit into this story, but it should be rather interesting. Now, there's been some talk, some people have suggested, do we discover that Finn is force sensitive? I don't think so. I think that it's okay not to be. I think that it's fine to have heroes who are just average people. And that brings me to our last bit of speculation that I would like to indulge in today. Rose. Now, are Rose and Finn going to be a couple? You know, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know if that kiss was necessarily romantic. I think it was more as I mean, yes, you could read it that way. And I think that was the implication. But, we don't know if Finn feels the same way. And so I don't know if it's a sure thing that they're a couple, but I certainly wouldn't mind that. And I certainly hope that Rose's character is handled a bit better in this film than she was in The Last Jedi. I saw what they were going for in The Last Jedi with Rose, but I don't think the execution was very good. I hope that in The Rise of Skywalker, Rose will get to have a better execution of the character. And maybe get to do some really neat heroic stuff that saves the day. I don't know. But regardless, Kelly Marie Tran is such a delightful person. It would be a shame for her not to get her just desserts as a character in The Rise of Skywalker. Now, Matt Smith, who is known for playing Doctor Who recently, and Prince Philip on The Crown, is supposedly in The Rise of Skywalker, but not. They're being rather sneaky with the character. I'm not exactly sure what his role would be. I think it might have something to do with Palpatine. But that's just a guess. Whether or not he actually shows up, I don't know, because there's been a little bit of, he's in, no he's not, he's in, no he's not, on the part of Lucasfilm. So a bit of being a bit dodgy with letting us know definitively, is he in the movie or not. Now, the fates of a lot of these characters, I don't really know where they're going to end up at the end of The Rise of Skywalker. I think that, Rey, possibly with Ben, work together to rebuild the Jedi. I think that that's pretty clear. And I'm sure that Poe and Finn and Rose, if they survive the events of The Rise of Skywalker, are definitely going to be wanting to help out. Because I think that even they realize the Jedi need to return. There's so much that could happen in this movie. The speculation is just endless. As much as we like to focus on Rey and Ben Solo, because let's be honest, they are dual protagonists. Even though Kylo Ren is the quote-unquote antagonist, it's still, in terms of being an opposing force to the good guys, we are still seeing this story through his eyes. And I think that he is shaping himself up to be one of the great film characters of our time. I think that it's likely that he will be redeemed. I think that there's also a chance that he lives. So we've talked a lot about these two characters because they're the dual protagonists. But it makes me wonder what's going to happen to our other characters. So let me know what you think, if you have any ideas. So those are my thoughts on the fates of our other characters. My name is Brennan Marr. That noise you're hearing is my ventilator. And thank you for tuning in to Page Turners They Were Not, my Star Wars podcast. May the Force be with you.